Coach, coming to this, iconic stadium, playing a ranked team, is there any added emphasis on sort of managing emotions when you're coaching this team this week?
Well, managing emotions is a great question in the fact that we've got about 46 guys on our football team from California. And last time we showed up in this place, it wasn't a good outcome for us. And I thought our emotions got a little bit best of us. We talked about that all this week, about trying to keep ourselves calm and don't let, because you're coming back home, all that influence you, and treat it like a business trip. At the hotel, I think the guys were dialed in. Meetings, they were dialed in all week, knowing that the opponent we were playing is a very good football team. And I give them credit, I give our staff credit for getting these guys prepared to play. And now we got a short week. We can't celebrate too long. We got a good team in Stanford that just beat Oregon. So we have to get ready to prepare all of a sudden next week, early week. We play on Friday.
Coach, you've talked a lot about the ceiling of this offense, specifically the passing game over the last month. Do you think we saw a glimpse of that tonight, what it really can be?
Well, we hit some big explosion plays in the pass game, and Zach, when he talked about putting in a game plan this week, I told him a little bit about Porter, that he could run, and maybe get him involved a little bit. And it was nice to see him getting involved in it, vertical, down the field, and how to use him. And Zach, as any good coach, says, "Yeah, coach." And I didn't even know the first series he threw it to him. I said, "Oh, I didn't even gonna do it that early," but it was good, and I thought that got us going, got Jayden going. And Jayden had to make some checks at the line. If we got a certain look, felt like we could throw the ball down the field. And Jayden did a nice job of reading the defense and then throwing the ball.
What does it say about Eric Gentry that he can make a play like that on fourth down at a moment like that?
His athleticism, and he's a freshman. There's a bunch of them in there at the end there. So that's kind of interesting. We were running out of good bodies all of a sudden, but he's a unique player. He really is. When you look at him, you think he's a basketball player. He's a tough guy. I know that because it's Philadelphia. I was in that city for 10 years, and he's a unique player, smart, very athletic, and he's going to get better as time goes on. Got to get some weight on him, though.
What does it mean to be in the driver's seat at this stage of the season?
Well, it's a week-to-week situation in the Pac-12, and we all know that, and that's how it works. In our conference, it just seems like, I've told you guys this since I first got here. You never know what's going to happen. You just see it. You think, oh, and then somebody loses, right? And I just think every week, and that's how we approached it, getting into conference games. The players can enjoy it. It's basically a relief for coaches that we won another conference game, won one on the road, which is important, and now we got a bigger one coming at home against a good team in Stanford.
Coach, what about the way your team was able to respond tonight? I mean, there was some costly mistakes at times where some teams would go one way and your team chose to respond and battle with UCLA, especially in that first half, and come down in the second.
Yeah, well, we know how to put ourselves in a deficit at times. We figured that out. We know how to do all that. It wasn't bad. We only had 6 of them, but they were big ones. 3 points before the half because we misplay a ball, and a young player wanted to make a play. And just that's the learning moment you got to teach guys about. And it didn't come back to get us, but I thought our team was resilient. They just didn't flinch when things like that happened, and they just played through it. And they had a mindset of there's going to be some things happening, and I told them that in the game. I said everything's not going to be pretty. There's going to be some negative plays, but how we handle those negative plays are very important. And I thought for the most part, I felt energy on our sideline the whole time. It never varied. It was funny because we go in at halftime, and I looked at him before we went out. I said, guys, we're still winning. I get it's a point, but we're still in the lead. I said, so this, and then the offense came alive, and I thought the defense, AP and those guys did a great job second half to shut these guys down. I mean, that's good defense.
Was it all special to beat Chip Kelly, given that you've got similar backgrounds in NFL and all that?
Well, I don't know that. I know Chip from long time, you know, and he's a fabulous football coach. And anytime you can win a road game against a Pac-12 opponent, that's good stuff. You know, it's hard, man. It's hard. This conference is hard. It just is. 9 games you play against opponents, whether they're in the South or the North, it is tough. You see it every week. It happens, right? We've been fortunate so far. We've won 2.
Coach, on the subject of responding, the team seems to be starting to minimize the penalties, but what was happening with the substitution?
Yeah, I don't know. One time we had 12, another time we had 13. I thought we were in Canada. We had 12. Because I've been almost in every league, but I hadn't been in Canada. I know they played with 12. Yeah, we got young guys, you know, special teams. It's just guys not knowing, you know, or not speaking when they're coming in and takes, you know, when you go in and take somebody out, it's good. You know, I'm gonna take you out. It's good. I say, I got you. Don't just run in there and don't tell the guy. You know, you tell the guy you gotta go out. You know, so we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out.
But do you feel better about where the team's at in terms of the penalties than you did?
Yeah, I mean, you know, speaking of penalties, it's kind of ironic. Pac-12 leads all conferences as being the most penalized conference in football. So we gotta fix that.
Coach, congrats on the win, first off.
Thank you.
What did you think of Jayden's performance? You mentioned him making checks at the line of scrimmage. What did you think of his performance?
I think every week he's getting more familiar with the offense. Remember, he only played 4 games in it last year. You know, this is what, how many games have we played? 5? Played 5. He played 9 games, and so I think he's getting more familiar with Zach. Zach's getting comfortable with Jayden. Jayden's getting comfortable with receivers. It's a process, but he did a great job. You know, his grandpa died yesterday, and coming into this, he was a little emotional. And, you know, I hugged him in the locker room and told him his spirit is in the stadium. You know, the spirit is here, looking at you, watching you. You just understand that. You know, and I thought he went out and really played good.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, folks.